let's get a weather.
literally right by side by side.
And hello and welcome to
Otherwise,
a TMC point of view for round 9 in Austria.
Wow.
As
10
the
minutes.
formation lap plays
The rain's
out,
only sticking around for 10 minutes apparently.
there's 10 minutes of rain, so there's only going to be about 8 laps of rain, so that's not too bad of a thing.
Because most people
to
would
be
look at it
honest,
and probably stick the wet setup
because
on, right?
well, don't forget park permits obviously on. So
Joe's a master in the rain, my teammate, so Joe, if it was a full wet race, then it was probably going to be Joe who runs away with the race.
No, Joe, who's he
Due
decent
to
with?
him being a lot quicker than everyone in the
He
rain,
might be decent
including
with John
myself.
or Dartbot then.
But the standings currently stand at,
Yeah, he's probably decent with
there's
one of
currently
the
me top with
commentators.
139
I guarantee
points.
Joe's at the front.
There's PFC Steve in the Williams on 93 points. There's Ali in the Ferrari on 79 points. Bob Let Scott in 4th, just outside the promotion spots,
Like
on 77 points. There's Joseph Corboy, my fellow Mercedes, on 75 points.
Bob Let Scott's
And then
decent,
Focky
really, I
in
think.
6th
Bob Let
on
Scott's
72,
through the middle of
who
everyone.
is currently hasn't attended the last 2-3 races now due to work commitments, so he's doing well to be only 5 points outside of Ali.
Yeah.
I have a Williams sandwich on
So they're the standings in the constructors. There's Mercedes on top with 214, then Williams in second with 120. That's more or less wrapped up now. But as we ready up for the start, there's Joe on poles, PSC Steve in second, Flo Co in third, Ali in fourth, and me in fifth. And the 5 lights are on, and they are out. I initially thought that Joe had jump started because he had such a good start, but I did well to get Floco. I pushed him wide a bit there, which I did feel bad for, but it's lap 1, turn 1, so you've kind of got to expect them things, especially on Austria. Ali did a very strange movement in the braking zone there. That could have been disastrous for everyone. But as you look ahead, Joe and PSC Steve are going side by side after lap 1. And Joe just comes out ahead. So now with me and Ali here, I originally thought he was faster than me in the wet. Considering I was using a dry setup as well because it was drying out later on in the race. I thought I did well to get 4th straight off the bat. And Ali there went super slow through that section, and as Sven and Stefan both retired from the session, and that has brought out the VSC just as I was off for a move. Now we cut to the end of the VSC, just about halfway through lap 2. There's me and Ali here. Joe's just kind of took the VSC in his gallop and tried to extend the lead. I just dropped back from Ali there as he compromised his own line by trying to defend it, which didn't affect me as I shift down to gear 3 there, gear 4, and we went into overtake on the ERS as slipstream was, I was catching, and Ali turned in on me there, which he kicked off about in the WhatsApp group after, and I was entitled to room as I was on the inside. He got annoyed at me as he lost the position to Floco, but that's because Floco didn't get involved with any of the incidents. He just kept his nose clean out of that, and no harm done with Ali there, but like, there's nothing I could do. I went for a move, he left the door open, he turned in on me, not the other way round, as Floco hit me there, unintentional I think, but after this we cut from lap 3 to our catch up to the back of Steve and Joe. As we are now on lap 4 here. So 2 laps have gone by since the VSC, since I got the moves done, and Steve just lost all traction coming out of this corner, and just his run was really bad there compared to mine, where I was in overtake for the ERS and me and Steve are cool with each other. Like, I felt really bad there for pushing Steve wide, and if Steve is watching this, then I'm sorry for pushing you wide and making you lose the position to Floco. So we transitioned over to lap 7 where I catch up to my teammate Joe, who I was scared he was going to spin it there because he was virtually sideways through that corner.
Bob Scott's catching us.
Yeah, Bob Scott, who was third, was a second quicker than me on that lap alone. As you can see, I was saving the fuel because of the wet weather. So we go here into turn 2, and this is where Bob Scott sent a dive from God knows where. He just misjudged his braking or something, and he just sent one clean up the inside. Luckily no damage was done to either mine or his car. As we cut to lap 9 now, and this is the lap where Joe lets me through. I didn't ask him to let me through, as you can tell in the audio on the back.
There's definitely no more rain coming back, right?
No. Done. Done.
As you could probably just hear him at the side there between Graham and Keith Keogh, otherwise known as It's Tactics. Joe did let me go, which I really appreciate of him, because I didn't ask him to let me go. He just thought just to let me through, which, if I was in the same situation and Joe was catching me, I would have let him through as well, because we're equal status in the team, and that's just the kind of people we are. As this is a highlight of my race, as Mr. Don Davey is getting approached to be lapped.
Richie, get out of the way.
I was scared because Richie braked as he let me through, and I nearly clattered him. But Richie was nice enough to let me through, which in the blue flag.
Jesus.
And yeah, as you could see there, my tyres were on 75%, which is the puncture territory, and Ali and Bob Scott were 26 or something seconds behind me, and they pitted for the dry tyres, so I had to limp home into this. In this lap, I had to limp the car home and hopefully not get a puncture. As you can see behind, you can see the blistering on the tyres. They were really close to being punctured. As DRS got enabled there, I was like, right, I'm pitting this lap.
Do you want to risk it?
Probably not now.
It probably could.
As I changed my wing down from 4 to 3 for the lighter fuel load, it made me quicker. As I look for the change of strategy, I believe I pull it up, and I accidentally select the super softs, which I panicked because then I just let go of the throttle to select the softs, which was my initial strategy, and I don't know why I changed it at all. As I slow down for the pit lane, we are into the pits from the lead.
Right, what's the gap?
They changed the tyres. Good stop by the boys.
29.5.
As we cut from the pit stop, as I rejoined in the lead, we rejoined to lap 34 where nothing really happened, as I set the fastest lap for the lap 34. As this is a fast lap, so turn 1 was very clean. As I'm in hot lap and rich mix here, shift down to gear 2. the approach. That could have been approached better than what I initially thought. As we now approach down to turn 4, as it's really turn 3, but the little kinks classed as turn 2, so we go down turn 4. I didn't like the way I jumped on the curb there. I would normally avoid that curb, I just turned in too soon. As we shift down to 5th for this section, let the car run wide near to the curb, back down to 5th for this section, and we use quite a lot of curb here. As we enter the last 2 corners, which are really bad, shift down to 6th,
But there's no one near me.
then down to 4th, go over the curb bit, run wide over the curb, and that's a 1 minute 7.466, which I was very happy with. And after there, well, this is the last lap, so I was basically coasting from here on out. As Bob Lettscott had a penalty. Well,
Yeah, 7.4.
he had 3 penalties actually. I'm pretty sure he got a penalty on the last lap. He had 3 penalties, which means 9 seconds. And as I was telling Joe throughout the race, just stick within the time frame, and you'll get him on the line. So it'll be a 1-2 finish for Mercedes as we are going through sector 2 here, coming out into the last sector, sector 3 on the last lap. Yes, you can hear I was mentioning DRS failure, as Keith Keogh got DRS failure, which didn't really impact him. Gear 6 through there, then gear 4, and we cross the line in round 9 of the TMC League 2 for another win. That makes 3 on the bounce. I'm aiming for 4 in Silverstone.
Home GP.
Yes, as I do win on the Red Bulls Home GP, and as Joe on the last lap spins it on the last